Hello, and welcome to Martinis and Bikinis, the podcast for everything under the sun. I am your hostess, Veronica, Droulia, and I am here to help you navigate your 20s through all things lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. So, if you're ready, let's dive into today's episode.
Okay. It'll help us later.
Hello, and welcome back to Martinis and Bikinis. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia, and today I am comfy vibes. I am on a cloud. I am surrounded by pillows, and I feel like it's very appropriate for the episode today because we are just having like sleepover vibes because we are doing our first segment of Poor Decisions. And if you guys aren't aware, it is a new segment that I'm doing where you can ask questions and I answer and give you my advice, or you can even submit like silly, crazy, embarrassing stories, and I try to help you through it. But I am so excited to just kind of give that big sister advice that I feel like sometimes we may be lacking. And I think sometimes it's better to receive advice from an outside source, because whenever somebody's like way too invested in your life, I feel like it can be kind of a biased answer, or, you know, maybe not the advice that you really need at the moment. So I am really excited for this next chapter of the show and to be doing these more often. So my plan is to do them like once a month. So there is an ongoing link that will be on my highlights, and it's an NGL link. So everything is completely anonymous. I can't even see who submits these questions. So just come as you are, no boundaries. Let's get spicy. I'm really excited. And I'll also put the link in the show notes too, so you can just go and submit your questions there. So today I have hand selected a couple questions, and these pertain to relationships, cheating, exes, and so on. And low-key, I'm so excited to answer these because I love giving dating advice. I don't necessarily like to talk about my dating life super publicly, and you guys know that considering you listen to this podcast. And I don't really give all the dirty details. I will say some things here and there, but I honestly just think some things are better left unsaid. And yeah, some things don't deserve a platform. So, question number 1. My ex from 8+ years ago is dating someone else, but is flirting with me. Do I tell his girl or threaten to? Ooh. Wow, that's a really long time. 8+ years. It's almost a decade. So, first of all, I will give a little bit of background in my dating life. And I love how I just said I wasn't going to, but here I am. So I was cheated on viciously in the past, and this was probably my first real relationship in college and honestly ever. And I probably was cheated on like every week, and I would find out about some of them. I probably didn't learn about some others, but I was in a very vulnerable state. It was my first serious relationship. I was so young. I thought I was going to end up with this person. I thought we were just going to get married and just... I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking at that time, but I was head over heels, and I just allowed him to keep running over me and cheating on me with all these other girls. And you never know what people's situations are and how they're going to react to something like that. So if you were to tell them, it might just be something that is discussed amongst them. They might have an open relationship. There might be some sort of agreement, or maybe this person is okay with that behavior and is constantly being run over like I was at that point in my life. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all go through these cycles of life. And, you know, I think it's important for you to assess your feelings towards why you would want to tell her. So is it your own motivations, or are you wanting to tell his current partner over genuine concern for her well-being? I think those are some things to ponder on before you make a decision. But I also think you need to consider the consequences. So is this going to lead to like unwanted drama in your life? Or are you going to end up being twisted in their relationship drama? I think those are just some things to consider. I honestly don't know if there's like a correct answer to this. And I think it kind of just depends on the situation. I'd love to have some more context. So if you're feeling frisky, feel free to submit to the anonymous platform. But I think definitely something that you should do is communicate with your ex, saying that it makes you feel uncomfortable, and let him know your feelings towards it. And I think if you feel as if it's disrespectful, you need to tell him your feelings towards it and let him reevaluate his actions. So if you're like not feeling that way, I think it might be time to reassess the person that you're entertaining. So if you are entertaining your ex, then that's probably not great. This person probably has a lot of healing that they need to do if they're trying to find validation outside of their own relationship. And if they're in this romantic partnership and they're unwilling to end it, I think that definitely shows that they are a little bit broken and are leaning towards some sort of external validation. So I also think if you really genuinely want to let this person know because you are concerned for their well-being, I don't know how the relationship ended for you guys. If it's something that's kind of on your heart because maybe something similar happened in the past where he was entertaining other people. But I also think letting them know in a respectful way is really important. So anonymously is great. I don't know how you would do that exactly, but I feel like maybe send them like an anonymous email or an anonymous DM. I know nobody really likes to get those like, hey girl, ... DMs, but I think you could also tell a neutral party. So maybe you guys have a mutual friend, or you can like let that person know as their friend. And I feel like at that point, it's almost their responsibility as their friend to let them know and share that information based on the circumstances of their relationship. Because, you know, again, you never know. People have open relationships or have agreements. So making a scene on your own is definitely not the way to go about things, I think. So I think that there's definitely some ways that you can go about doing it in a respectful manner. And just to, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with unnecessary drama. You don't want to get involved in something and have that added to your life, because if you're not the one that's creating any sort of conflict, if you're just kind of on the receiving end, like, I think there's a way to let them know and move on with your own life and just sit in your own peace. So yeah, that's my opinion towards that. Number 2. So I got cheated on from a long-term relationship. My confidence is absolutely shattered. How do I get my old self back, new and improved? So I feel like this goes almost hand in hand with that first question. But first of all, I am so sorry. That is such an unpleasant feeling, and heartache of any kind is just such a transformative time in our lives. And I know it like really, really sucks. And there's sometimes nothing that really makes you feel better. And I think it's important to sit in those emotions and to really like let yourself feel. And honestly, time is the most important medicine of all. And you need to be able to give yourself some grace. But here's what you're going to do. So this sounds crazy, but you're going to DM me. I don't care who you are. I'm here to support you, because this is not a good feeling. And I've been there. I know how it feels. I'm going to book you a blowout appointment, and you're going to invite your friends over, and you're going to drink martinis and do your makeup, and you're going to look fire as fuck. You are going to go out to dinner. You're going to take a hot pic of yourself, not for anybody else, just for you. You're going to go to a swanky bar. You're going to go flirt with a cute boy, and you're going to just maybe grab a number or two. You're going to giggle and, you know, just have fun with it. It's not serious. And then you're going to go home. You're going to giggle and recap the night with all of your friends. It is not your job to fix the relationship. You did nothing to break it. Fixing things is the cheater's job. They either need to step it up or you need to be able to walk away. Those are permanent scars that he left. And maybe one day you can look down and smile at them and see how much growth and progress that you've made with your life. But either way, they will always be there, and that is on him. And I think I'm saying that there's two parts to this, because I know some people who have been able to get through really challenging situations like this and come out on the other end even stronger. But I do feel that that is very rare. So focusing on you is extremely important in this time in your life. And yeah, I think, again, you need to allow yourself to grieve. I'm not sure if you've decided to leave this person or not. Everybody has their reasons, and I'm not here to judge or push someone in a particular direction. But I really think it's important for people to see their worth and know that they don't deserve these types of things. If anything, it says way more about the other person and the healing work that they need to take on. And maybe that's something that they can't do along somebody else. But look, I've seen some incredible relationships, like I said, blossom out of challenging situations, but these people ultimately chose each other and fought for the relationship. And I think this is something that you can grow from together, or something that makes you completely lose yourself. So you need to be able to detach from the situation and realize what is totally going to benefit you in the long run. I definitely recommend seeking support, therapists, friends. I think finding someone in your circle who has been through something similar is really empowering, and it helps you have a lot of trust in this particular person. I've been through situations in the past where I've been through breakups, and I've kind of just randomly came about somebody who is going through something very similar, and having that person in my life during that time was so crucial, because sometimes it's unfortunate, but sometimes people don't want to hear about this stuff like all the time. And I also think that's a good time for you to reassess your friends and your support system. But I think it's really nice to have somebody that is also going through the same thing, where you can kind of like talk with each other about it and relate to one another and push each other in the right directions. So I definitely recommend maybe finding somebody that has like gone through something similar recently or in the past that can really relate to you and give you some really solid advice. So anyone that has been cheated on knows that it can feel really embarrassing. I don't want you to feel embarrassed or like you're not good enough or that this person never valued you. Men are complicated and very simple creatures. And I've recently been consulting a lot of my straight guy friends on girls, which is hilarious, because I did not realize like how much guys overthink too. But it's been really interesting, and I can do a whole nother episode on this, but they're either avid overthinkers or they're only thinking about sex. So you know what's even more embarrassing is cheating on the potential love of your life for meaningless, boring, and probably downright vanilla sex. So I think that you are in the clear. And if anything, he did you a favor. So again, I don't know the situation, but you know, I think cheating can be a really hard thing to come back from, and it can be really hard to rebuild that trust again. So I think it's really important for you to have this time on your own and just really enjoy the process. And I know that sounds probably something you don't want to hear, but breakups and new chapters of life can honestly be really fun. I was talking to my Glam Squad girl earlier today. She recently just signed her divorce papers, and I was like, how does it feel? She was like, honestly, kind of fun. And I was like, I love that for you. She was like, I have this whole new chapter of life. Everybody knows that after you go through a breakup, you have like the best glow up ever. And I'm just having fun with my friends. I'm enjoying the single life. I mean, I was stuck in a relationship that, you know, wasn't serving me for so long. And now I get to serve myself. And I immediately was just like, yes, queen, I love this for you. So again, give yourself grace. It's normal to feel hurt and vulnerable after feeling betrayed, but try and find things that make you feel good. And I think being around friends and doing things that you love is just a way to get back on the path of healing and those next steps. So focus on your self-care. Again, I swear the best glow ups happen after a breakup or challenging times in relationships. And yeah, it's low key kind of exciting. You are literally about to shine from the inside out. That's so fun. His friends are going to be hitting you up. He's going to be texting you. But guess what? You can't see it. You have him blocked. So exercise because it makes you feel good. Movement is so important. Get that pent up anger out. Whenever I have gone through breakups in the past, I've really gone towards boxing. I find it to be such stimulating, like mentally, and like such an energetic release. Just get your hot self hot girling, and yeah, go to the farmer's market, make yourself a fresh ass meal, find a fun hobby, start a business. The world is your oyster. And now that you don't have somebody holding you back, you can literally do whatever you want. And that is so fun. I feel like anytime I have been on the outskirts of a relationship, maybe it's just ended, I have ended up doing the things in life that I am the most proud of, which is so exciting. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do half of the things that I've done the past few years if it wasn't for me being single at this time in my life. And I think you can do that alongside a partner too. But for me, at this point in my life, it was so important for me to focus on myself and focus on the things that I wanted to bring to life for my own self and not for anybody else. And yeah, I also think just like get dressed up and whenever you feel ready, go on a date because I low-key feel like it helps to see that there's other fish in the sea, and you might not necessarily like this person or even feel great after it, but it still gives you some sort of hope that there are other people out there for you that are going to value you and value your time and not waste it, because from what it sounds like, this person wasted your time. So I'm a big advocate for the sexy, chaotic era. And after a long relationship, going into the sexy, chaotic era is so fun. And it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go on a bunch of dates and be crazy and get wasted. You don't have to do that. But it's just like doing things for the plot, because why not? I love having a story to just like sit around in a circle with my friends and talk about. It's so entertaining. And yeah, I think just do things for the plot. Just enjoy life. Have stories that you can like tell your kids later on in life if they're like PG, I guess. But sexy, chaotic era commence. I'm commencing it for you. But set boundaries, no contact for sure. Block. If it's hindering your healing process or triggering negative emotions, block. Practice positive self-talk. Affirmations every day is great. And just remind yourself how much of a badass you are. Again, you did not get embarrassed. He embarrassed himself. So just affirm that. Affirm yourself because you're amazing. Set goals, make a vision board, embrace growth and how it makes you more resilient. And also, I do want to say the fact that you were able to submit this is the first step. So congratulations. You have taken the first step into healing. I think admitting these things is like super hard because sometimes whenever we're really wrapped up into a situation, we feel like we have to like really stuff it down deep into our bodies and not really take action or seek help or try to get advice or work on ourselves. And I think that it is just super empowering that you were even able to submit this question. So thank you for that. But yeah, time is the best medicine of all. So give yourself grace. Know that with time, you're probably going to have like a whole year full of crazy adventures. And you're going to look back on the situation and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I was even feeling like that about myself. Like, I'm the shit. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, that's kind of where I feel with that. I feel like I kind of went a bunch of different directions with that one. But yeah, I feel like cheating is a really complex and complicated situation that unfortunately some of us have to go through. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. We've all been there. Well, by all, I mean me. But, there's a lot of people that have unfortunately dealt with that. And it's not a fun feeling. And I think you are only going to come out on the other side even brighter and full of joy and just this next level version of yourself. So I'm excited for you. But yeah, that's about it. I am so excited to continue these because I love hearing from you guys and helping however I can. And hopefully this was helpful. A little chaotic as always, but thank you so much for your submissions. And again, I will put the submission link in the show notes so that you guys can submit more questions or stories or whatever you'd like for me to share here on the show. And yeah, I plan on doing it once a month. So expect to see more of this style of episode. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you thought of the episode. You can DM me. You can actually answer on Spotify through the questionnaire that they give you at the end. But yeah, if you like this episode, please feel free to like, rate, and subscribe to Martinis and Bikinis. It is the best way to help the podcast, and I appreciate it more than you know. I'll love you forever. But other than that, I will see you next week. Cheers.